Hello, I am Scorp, and once again I am here on my Steam Deck, and I've had quite a lot of questions regarding NTFS drives and using them on the Steam Deck. So today I'm going to go through a few different things ranging from easy to hard. So the easiest thing I'm going to show you is how to move files from your NTFS external drive to your deck. This might be useful in case you've downloaded lots of things already onto an external drive in preparation for your deck coming, or you don't have much bandwidth for whatever reason you want, and we just copy them straight over onto the deck. The second thing I will show you, which you could consider as intermediate level, would be to set up mounting the drive and adding this to your Steam so you can play games directly from your NTFS drive. And the hard mode will be showing you how to copy games from your external drive to Steam, because Steam does not like this by default, so it was a little bit of work. I had to write some code. So, first up, let's show you how to move games to your Steam library. And this is pretty damn easy. First, plug your hard drive into the deck. I'm using a USB-C hub thing. So this is what you need to do, plug it in, and everything's going to be done in the desktop mode here. So, easy as this, click this icon down here, and then find your drive, which mine is nicely called NTFS Games, and just simply click Mount and Open. And there we go, it's mounted. And from here, you just need to click on your Steam, right click. If you're not using a keyboard and mouse, you're going to have a very bad day, unfortunately. Then from settings, click downloads and click this Steam library folders. This page is available in gaming mode, but this plus icon is not, unfortunately. So we just simply need to click the plus icon and this dialog will show, and it should show up in this list here. If not, you can click, let me choose another location, and then you click add. And then this will bring up Steam's awful UI, and you will have to find this drive in run a media deck and wherever your Steam library folder is. But for me, it's already in this list, so I'm just going to click it and click add, and there it is. And then to move some games over, it's simply a case of just clicking which games you want to move to your hard drive or your SD card and click move, and it will then give you this dialog again, and you just click move. Simple as that. Do note, doing this, if you're coming from a Windows machine, if your games are Windows games, copying games like Towerfall, which has a native Steam client, it will probably convert it first to the Linux build. So it will still download probably a lot of data, depending on how big your game is. So let's say if you're downloading BioShock Infinite, that does have a native Steam build, native Linux build. It will still download all the data to again, so you've not really saved yourself any time. The most useful thing doing this would be when the games you have are Windows only, and it will be running through Proton. So there we go. The games are now on my deck, and that was it. Simple as that. That was easy mode. So your second option will be to run games directly from the external hard drive, your NTFS external hard drive. As you can see, it's already here when we mounted it through the UI, and we can actually play these games directly. And if we go back into gaming mode, we can still play them. But if we turn the deck off, then we still need to drop back into desktop mode and mount it manually again. So as usual, if anyone's seen my other videos, we are going to do some editing of the FSTAB table again. We love FSTAB over here in Team Chinballs. Handily, on GitHub, on Valve's own GitHub, there is a section here which tells us just how to mount an NTFS drive properly for use with Steam, and this seems to work quite well. I've had this running with some similar settings before, but seeing as Valve recommend this one, I am going to use this one. So simply come to this page. I'll put a link in the description, so you can copy this line basically and then insert it into your FSTAB, but then we need to edit it a little. So we then need to come to a new window, and we will type in lsblk, and we will go options, and the options we want are name, UUID, maybe mount point, oh, and label. We'll have a label as well. So if you already followed my first steps, easy mode, you will have mounted the hard drive here in the UI, which will populate this mount point field. So we've got it all here. We can just copy bits. So let's go to our F-stab. I'm just going to copy this line here, right click, copy, and I'm going to come here and then right click, paste. So most of these things are wrong, so remember to change these. And we're going to go back here and we are going to copy the mount point. Again, you can just click the copy if you want to do it with the mouse. And we are going to just quickly change some of these details. So that is wrong. I'm going to then insert that. And our UUID is currently wrong, so we're going to copy that. And we're going to put that where it says UUID. It's basically exactly the same as the line above. So that is that, but you need to add one more thing, the no fail, because Steam's website, the GitHub website, isn't really expecting you to be using an external hard drive, so it doesn't have the no fail on here, and we desperately need that, so it will still boot when the hard drive is not plugged in. So no fail, and hit save, and there we go. Oh, you probably can't see it with my head in the way. So there is what we need. Let's make it a bit bigger for you. Ooh, my head's still in the way. Yeah. So yeah, there it is. That's my UUID of the drive. That's the mount point that we want it to go to. And all the other settings. Low NTFS is a way to mount NTFS with lowercase. The UID is 1000, which is the ID of the deck user. And the group ID is also of the deck user. Read write. Let's do exec. I can't remember what UMask does. I think that's writing permissions to files. 000 would be none because Windows doesn't really have. Well, it's not, the permissions aren't compatible. But don't worry about it. Just trust Valve. Trust Valve that that's right. So save. So now we just need to open up Steam again. Click settings from here, which will open this dialog. Click downloads, Steam library folders. And again, just add from this list, add. And now we're just going to restart the deck and it should all just reappear in gaming mode. So I've restarted, we are now in gaming mode and I'm going to come to settings and down to storage. And as you can see, the NTFS drive has auto mounted and all our games are there. If you've seen any of my other videos, which I might link above somewhere, this will have some problems with auto mounting. You can set up auto mount, but it will make your deck a bit slower, and I've still not worked this out. But if your hard drive is plugged in when you boot the deck, it will automatically appear in your Steam library. And if you plug it in like within a minute of the deck being open, powered on, sorry, then it will pop up in here. But any longer than that, then it won't. So I've made the NTFS drive my default, and I'm going to just randomly download a game, just to prove that it does actually download, because I did have problems with this in the past, but it seems to be all resolved these days. So I'm just going to download Ibn Ob, and I'm going to download it to my NTFS drive. So there is Ibn Ob downloaded on my Steam Deck directly to the NTFS hard drive. So no read-write errors or anything like this, which I previously encountered when I first got the deck. I think Steam has updated their client, so a lot of this just works better. So thank you, Gabe. So here's Super Meat Boy directly from an NTFS hard drive, running on Linux. No problems whatsoever. So again, just a quick note on using an NTFS hard drive like this. If you are planning to use this so it's portable, so you switching back and forth between your Windows PC, if the game has a native Linux build, it will convert to the Linux build when you plug it into your deck. And then when you take the hard drive out of your deck and plug it into your main Windows PC, it will then convert it back to the Windows version. So it is not ideal. You could probably get around this by forcing the Proton version onto the Steam Deck so it doesn't use the native Linux version, but I highly recommend you probably shouldn't do that. The native Linux builds are probably going to run a lot better. So any game that you know that has a native Linux build, you can go to the store page and look. I would just say keep that on your internal hard drive and just save your disk some read writes. So there we go. So now, hard mode. So now I'm going to show you how to copy games from a hard drive to your Steam library on your deck. Steam does not like this. Maybe you've already done this, you've tried to be clever and you've plugged in your external hard drive, you've come to the Steam library, Steam apps and common, you've found the games you want. You want, I don't know, Super Meat Boy, Next Machina, Ibonob, let's say Black the Fall, and 8-bit Bayonetta, and you've simply right-clicked, copied them, and you've then found your Steam apps library on your deck, which is in home deck.steam, Steam apps, and again, common. And I'm just going to quickly exit Steam first, so there's no conflicts. And you've simply pasted these games into here. And as you can see, none of those games have turned up, and that's because the app manifests are missing. Now, you could come back into your external hard drive and find the app manifests that relate to the games, but it's a bit of a pain if you've got a lot of them. It really is. And also, maybe you don't have the drive anymore for some reason. So what are you going to do? And the solution I came up with was write a lot of code. So this is what I've come up with. I've written a bash script. I will put a link in the description on how to download it. And basically this will either copy the app manifests from your external hard drive, or it will generate some new ones. And then you can copy these into your Steam library folder. The app manifests will be wrong, by the way, because these will be like the Windows versions of the app manifest, so there will be a lot of details that are incorrect, but thankfully Steam will convert these when it detects they are wrong. So it's safe enough just to use the Windows versions, or if you don't have them anymore, I have provided a template which has the... I will just move this over here. Which simply has the bare minimum that I've found that works with the Steam software, which is basically the app ID and the install directory and a couple of flags. And then Steam will generate the rest for you once it detects that it's basically corrupt. So that's good. So this is what we need to do, is we're going to close Steam first, just so there's no sort of conflicts. You need to download this, or you could just simply take this and, you know, write it all manually if you wish. It's up to you. And once you've downloaded this script, depending on how you've downloaded it, you may need to set the application as executable, because you know, OSs don't want you running random code that might break things. So I would highly recommend, firstly, read the code and make sure you're happy with it. If you have no idea what's going on, then maybe wait until someone else verifies that I am not like deleting all your information or harvesting your data, whichever. But essentially, I'll save this for another video and go through this, but the sources here, you can have a read. It's not particularly well written, because I just threw it together, basically. It's, you know, like my other stuff that I write, probably no one's going to use anyway, so there's not much point in me putting a lot of time into it. So yeah, clone the directory or download the code, whichever you wish. And this application here, Steam Get Manifest, you will need to right click, properties and permissions, and click is executable. And then okay. And then from here, you could just open the terminal. From here, you just need to type in // which will run any bash scripts. And I called it, what did I call it? I called it Steam Get Manifest. So this works best if you provide it at the end with the location of your external drive where the games you just copied from are. So just open up a Dolphin and go to your games, Steam library, Steam apps. Simply copy this line in the top, insert it into here, and then just click enter. And this will tell you the following games are missing app manifests. 8-bit Bayonetta, well, everything basically. It will also show you some things which shouldn't have manifests anyway, but I didn't want to write any more code. It's telling us to open this file, missing, and remove anything you don't want from the manifest. So you could go in there and you could remove the Steam controller config and whatever else. Oh yeah, Half-Life Alyx, because it's just some residual information from a save. But I am happy to continue. I will click enter. So this is where I have copied the manifest to, so you can manually copy them into your Steam directory. I originally had this copying it automatically, but I don't want to break anyone else's deck, so it's your responsibility, you know, free software as is. So come back to Dolphin, find where you checked out the code, and here in this folder, app manifests, that one's not what you need, so just the ones with numbers, but as you can see, these have all been copied from your external drive, exactly the ones you need. So I'm just going to copy these three, and I don't know what these three are, so I'm just going to stick these in. So paste, 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 paste. So there we go, and Steam is currently closed. We are going to reopen it, and then that should make 3 games appear. So those app manifests are actually wrong, but Steam is smart enough to regenerate any corrupted ones. So here we go, and we are now showing 8-bit Bayonetta, that wasn't there before, Next Machina, and I don't actually know what else was there, but Super Meat Boy is not there yet. So there we go, so that works. For me, it might not work for you, hopefully it does. So what if you don't have your external hard drive anymore? Then we're going to have to generate these files, and it's a little more complicated because there is a manual step in here, and I will show you what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am just going to delete this app manifest, this manifest folder from my repository, just so we get some fresh ones. And we are going to come back here, we are going to delete this line, and we're just going to run the Steam get manifest without any settings. Boom, enter. So now it's telling us that the following are missing app manifests: Black the Fall, Ibn Ob, the Steam controller, and Super Meat Boy. This is telling us the source directory has not been provided. You need to manually add the app ID to this location, this temp missing.txt. And it needs to be tab separated, and then click enter to continue. So let's open up a new tab here, and we're going to nano tmp/missing. And here we go, Black Fall, Ibn Ob, Steam controller, and Super Meat Boy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove Steam controller, and from here we need to find the app IDs. We have to do this manually, and for this I am going to use SteamDB. So I'm just going to search for Black the Fall. And here it tells me what the game ID is. And I'm simply going to copy that and come back to this page, click tab and insert. So this time I'm just going to come to the Steam website and see if we can get this information from here. Ibn Ob, there we go. And you can also get the ID from here. It probably is possible to do this automatically, but SteamDB info specifically says you can't scrape the website and there's no API available, so I'm going to respect that. I think it's a great service, so please don't abuse it. I'm not sure what Steam's opinion is of scraping, but I don't want to get in trouble also with them and get my account blocked, so this is going to be the easiest way. Make sure that these spaces between are tabs and not spaces. Otherwise, the script won't work and it will probably break because it's not very robust. And you're going to go back to your script, which is still running and waiting for you to click enter. And then that's what we're going to do. We're going to click enter. And that should then generate some files for you. And if we come back to the repository folder where I've downloaded this code and come into app manifest, you should see these 3 files. And if you were to open them, it would just have some very basic info: the app ID, universe, state flag, and the install directory. This, I've found, is the bare minimum that Steam needs to regenerate your actual files. And again, I am just simply going to highlight these and copy in my home deck, Steam apps. It's a lot of Steams. In here, I am simply going to click paste. And now I've restarted Steam. As you can see, my Super Meat Boy, what was the other games that I copied over just then? Black the Fall, Ibn Ob, and Super Meat Boy. So, let's see. Ibn Ob, yep. Black the Fall, yep. And Super Meat Boy. So, there we go. And if we come back here, so let's just pick Super Meat Boy, 4800. If we look at this app manifest now, you can see it has been repopulated with the correct fields. So the only things we provided were the first 4 things: app ID, universe, we didn't provide name, we provided install directory. So the name's been generated and all these other lovely things have been regenerated. And as you will see, there is now a folder called corrupt, which is probably a result of our meddling. I would hazard a guess that this is safe to delete, which, you know what, I'm going to do. Screw it, it's gone. There we go. I've showed you how to move, I've showed you how to use, and I've showed you how to copy, all from an NTFS hard drive. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed any of this and find it useful, please do share it with people who may also find it useful. Put it on social media and Reddit, because I don't think they like me posting my own videos so much. That's the best thing you can do for me. Spread the word. Spread the word of the scope. So yeah, I hope that helped. And again, the code that we've just been running isn't perfect. It is a work in progress. I've only tested it on one deck. I've only written it yesterday and a little bit today. So it is what it is. It's a bit of code that you're going to probably use once in your life. So it doesn't really need to be perfect, does it? Just follow the instructions and you should be fine. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time. And it will be running through Proton?